Hey friends, welcome to another episode of From the Garden. Again, I don't do this to gain any kind of audience or anything like that. I just hope that it blesses you or encourages someone who needs the encouragement. But it's something that I really felt like I needed to do. It's something I wanted to do, and to just begin to share and to sow some of the things that I feel like I have been given. And so anyway, I'm trying out a tripod thing that I bought just a moment ago, and it seems to be working okay. I think I've finally gotten the swing of this thing, but if the camera starts shaking or the wind blows and it falls over, you'll know that one, I didn't fork out a lot of money on it, and then two, oh well. So here's what's been on my mind in recent weeks. I've been a Christian since I was 15. I'm now 59 years old. And not beating up on myself or anything like that, just being honest. I don't see, I can look back over my life and see where much of what I called following Jesus was half-hearted, misguided, and just self-righteous, to be honest. And recently, I've really begun to look at that. Some years ago, when I lived over near Atlanta, Jesus totally flipped my world upside down again, and I had a real encounter with him that changed everything for me. And at 51 years old, I realized I needed to grow up, and started intentionally seeking that, pursuing that, by just simply cooperating with him. Scripture says in one of St. Paul's epistles, he writes that, I planted, Apollos watered, but God causes the growth. And so I wanted to learn, and I've set my heart on learning how to cooperate with him and to listen to him, and to work together with him. He really wants it to be a work that's done together, because he's our great physician and our Papa, our Father, our Abba. He loves us dearly, and so I began to really pursue that. But in recent weeks, I have seen where I kind of have, by his grace, I have seen where I have kind of come to just a place of just comfort and just a non-attentive relationship with him, to where I'm kind of not really going through the motions or anything, but just seeing that he's calling me to a deeper involvement and a deeper participation. And that's the thing that's so key, is that salvation is not just a one-time event that happened back here, and now it's just, okay, that's done. The transaction is complete, and it means that we're going to end up here. No, it's something that begins here, and then as we walk with him and cooperate with him, it goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. It's a once for all deal that he accomplished back here, but it's worked out in our lives, in the daily circumstances, in the relationships that we live in, and the things we encounter. It's a relationship with him that grows deeper and more mature, and it is intended to be transformative. And so recently, there have been some things that have come, into my heart and my mind about that. I mentioned on some other videos I've made about soul care and just the things that promote the health and the growth of our souls. But there's also other things, like simply obedience. We have a tendency to think of obedience as if it's some legalistic thing or some kind of requirement that has to be met. But recently I went to the doctor and to have my shoulder looked at because of some shoulder injuries. And the doctor came into the room. I mean, this is his specialty. And he gave me specific commands. Hold your arm this way. Move your arm up and down in this direction. Rotate your shoulder this way or that way. Push against my hand, and I'm going to push back, and tell me, how it feels. And he was giving me commands and inviting me to participate in the procedure of, one, identifying the root issue and healing it. So we get to participate with him in our own healing and growth. And that's where our obedience comes in. Does it involve trust? Yeah. Is it a love thing? Absolutely. Is it grace? Absolutely. I didn't obey that doctor's commands to try and earn his services or to earn his diagnosis. I cooperated with him because I wanted to be cured. And if we cooperate with Jesus, his heart is our healing and our growth and our fullness and our maturity. And when I speak of maturity, I don't mean, well, look at me, I'm a responsible little soldier, or, the maturity when we walk with Jesus is more like a Polaroid. I don't know if you remember the old Polaroid cameras that you could take a picture and it would come out the front of the camera, and when you looked at it, it was just a black empty square. But you had to lay that picture in the light. And as you laid that picture out in the light, slowly the images that were in the picture began to develop and to come forward and to get clearer and clearer and clearer. And that's what it's like for us when we cooperate with him and walk with him and participate with him in our healing. He cures us, but he also brings the image of who we truly are and who he truly is. He brings them into the light and into full clarity and full definition and focus, so that the image is unmistakable and undeniable. May God bless us. May God help us. And he will. He loves us, and may we give ourselves and offer ourselves to him in intentional participation and obedience. He'll let us know everything we need to do because he loves us. He's not playing games with us. He loves us. So may we cooperate fully. Hey, thanks so much for your time. God bless you, and we'll see you next time.